Hello everyone, let us continue learning C language. In this video, we are going to discuss a topic called storage classes. Now storage classes, there are four main types of storage classes, which is called auto, extern, static, register. So these are the four types of storage classes you have. So I'll repeat: auto, static, extern, register. So these four are the storage classes types. Auto, by name you can understand it is automatic, it is default. So when we declare a variable called int, so whenever we declare a variable, we start with data type, and then we have our before data type we have our modifiers, sign modifier. Before sign modifier we have our size modifier. Only then you have your variable name, correct? Now there is one more part which we needed, that is the storage class. This is required even before the size modifier. The purpose of storage class is nothing but it informs the compiler where this particular variable should be given space to store its values. Okay, that is what meant by storage classes. Auto by default says it stores your value in the regular RAM memory, which is allocated for your process. Okay, regular RAM memory, that is by default it is auto. Okay, now extern as a keyword. Extern says you need not allocate memory for this particular variable here in this process. This particular variable name, this particular variable, it has allocated with some memory externally that is present outside. You can go refer to it. So that is the meaning of this process called extern. Okay, to show you how the things work, I'll create two files and show you how things work here. So first file is called nomain.c. I'm starting with hash include stdio.h. I'm having int main, and here I have a variable called int n. I'm scanning a value for the variable scanf percentage %d comma ampersand n, return 0. Okay, let's start with the process of declaring a new file. I'm naming this file as nomain.c, and here I'm declaring a global variable int n is equal to 40. So, and I have nothing in this file. This file is completely empty. I'll create a new file. I'll save this file as file2.c. Here I'm having my header file here, hash include. Rather, I'm not including the standard input output.h file. Rather, I'm include nomain.c, which is the file that is present in the local directory where we are present right now. In that file, I'm having the main function, within which I'll say extern int n. I'll print the value of n, printf %d comma n. So usually you tend to see some garbage being printed, but now let's see what is getting printed. Okay, so I'll say gcc space file2.c -o file2. When I run this file called file2, you can see the value 40 being printed. We didn't provide the value of 40 directly to the variable called n. Int n is equal to 40 from another file called nomain.c. So what this extern keyword does, if this extern keyword is not there, okay, let us run this file without the extern keyword. I'll compile it again and I run it. You could see some garbage value of 0 being printed because that n is not initialized. Now what this extern keyword does here is nothing but it informs the compiler saying that this variable called n is not, we need not provide memory for this variable called n. The memory for this n is provided externally in some other file, maybe some other file from this hash include part. So it goes to this file and checks for the existence of this variable called n. So it picks up this memory, and that memory will be marked with the same label of n here. So it shares the same memory. So that is what meaning of extern. Now there's one more word called register. Now this register is nothing new. Now what this register does is it tells the compiler that don't store the variable in the local memory, what we usually do in the RAM. Okay, rather store this in a register memory. Now when you have a look at the memory hierarchy, okay, now commonly when you go purchase a new laptop, you would have noticed for a HDD hard disk, okay, HDD hard disk, you will be charged very less. But if you want to have a solid state disk driver, that is SSD, yes, you'll be charged a bit higher, stating that SSDs are faster than HDD. Okay, Similarly, the memory has hierarchy. There are few other memories like register, cache memory, RAM, ROM. All these memories are having the hierarchy stages. Out of this, register stands at the top. It is a very expensive memory because, as you could see, RAM and ROM, these are two common names we come across. Okay, RAM, most of the recent systems nowadays, what we have comes with a RAM of 8 GB or 16 GB or even 4 GB. Okay, that is the RAM chip you have, random access memory, which is read only once. It will not store any data. It is every time when you restart the system, it is refreshed. ROM is nothing but the regular hard disk we have on the machines, which is 1 TB SSD or HDD, whatever you run it. Okay. Now, obviously, when you talk about the pricing of it, RAM is a bit costlier than ROM. ROM, when you talk about the pricing at present and the present rates, 1 TB HDD would cost somewhere around 3,000 to 4,000 rupees based upon the brands, or 1 TB of SSD would cost you somewhere around 1 TB of SSD will cost you somewhere around 10,000 to 12,000. But when talk about RAM, even a smaller 8 GB RAM or a 16 GB RAM will cost you 8,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees on average. When you go higher RAM, it even costs you even more higher. RAM is costlier than ROM. Same way, register memory is even costlier than RAM. Okay. Now, why am I saying this variable should be given memory inside the register? Why can't it sit inside a RAM? The reason because when you write a complex programming task, when you write programs for banking application, as I told you earlier, right? In such scenarios, you want the memory, the variable to be accessed very fast, very quick, matter of nanoseconds time, so that you don't give time for the hackers to hack into your process and then tap the data. For example, you talk about the ATM pin window. Okay. In such scenarios, you want the system to respond very faster, for which you need the best memory in place to be used. So for such cases, we use this keyword called register. It is completely application oriented. We don't use it in terms of our coding practices, or we don't use it in terms of our educational purposes. But this in production plays a major role in terms of register. Okay. Now the last keyword for the place, it is called static. Okay. Difference between static is nothing but static. What it does is, static and extern are more similar. Only difference is extern, it will look for the external implementation. Static will look for the internal implementation, the same process. For example, you have a looping, a recursive function. For example, int n is equal to 5, while n minus minus, printf %d, comma, n value. I'll end with the return 0 statement. Okay, when you compile this file, sorry, recursion is not used. I'll print the value, and with which I'll call the main function again. Call the same main function over and over again. So let's compile and check this out. When I compile it, you can see there are no errors. And when I run it, you can see the value of 4 being printed repeatedly, because n minus minus 5 becomes 4. It keeps printing n4 repeatedly, and at some point it stops. It stops printing 4 at some point because of the stack overflow error. Okay, because the recursion depth would have reached its maximum repetition limit. So that is why it has crashed. It is not stopped, it is crashed. Now, rather, if you use a keyword called static, see what happens when I compile it and run it. You can see the value is 4, 3. Let us have the if condition here instead of while in place. Let's compile the file GCC. So let's run this file. You can see the values 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 being printed. If static is not kept in place, when you compile it and when you run it again, it keeps printing 4 and it goes on to crash to a stack overflow error. Okay. Now, what the static does here is nothing but, I'll try to show you the working of the static in our tutor window. Python tutor. Let's open up the C tutor file. Let's run this. Let's visualize this code. So when you go to next stages, okay, every time when you run it, this n is being stored as a static When you run it every next time, the n is stored as static. So all the n variables, all the recursion paths, they are accessing the same memory. So that is why when one value changes, all the values are changing. Okay. But in case of non-static variable, every single n value, that is int n, will be considered as new declaration, because of which the n will be 5 always. It will not become 3, 2, 1 consecutively. It will be 5 always. And that is the reason why for n minus minus, we kept printing the same n value over and over again if the static keyword is not present. Hope you understand the concepts of all 4 storage classes about auto, static, external, and register. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.